So we can start now. Till that time, other people let's join. So, so this is our agenda for today. So, we are having the introduction about group leader as well as speaker, and in this session we will be having one. So, what are the best practices on Lightning Flow? And we are having a small quiz as well as we are having giveaways for the same. So we are having Devasis Jena, who is Salesforce technical architect, and he is currently in Dubai. And so myself Chinmay Rath, and currently I am technical lead, and I am out of from Bhubaneswar. And Rahul Gupta is Salesforce developer, and he is from Bangalore. So you can connect with any one of us whenever you need anything. Like so, these are our Twitter handle. You can reach with given in LinkedIn as well as in this Twitter handle. So today we are having Om Prakash. So let's welcome Om Prakash to our first inaugural event for Bhubaneswar. And he is Salesforce MVP, and he is the Lightning champion. And currently he is working as a product lead at 360 Degree Cloud. And so he will be giving us today. He will be giving us a session on what are the best practices of Lightning Flow. So, so let's again everyone welcome Om Prakash to our inaugural event of Bhubaneswar. So Om Prakash, hand over to you.
Thank you very much. Hope I'm audible, right?
Yes, Om, you are audible.
Hello everyone. Thank you very much for joining, and hello. Thank you very much for kind introduction. So let me share my screen. Well, so hope my screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you. And I am audible properly, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Yeah, hello everyone. Wish you all very happy New Year, and thank you very much for joining. I see a very good number of participants here. Thank you very much for your time today with us. And yes, congratulations to the entire Salesforce developer group Bhubaneswar. Wow, we have one more group. And thank you all group leaders for having me today in this celebration. Yeah, I say celebration, it's first event. And first event is also always a memorable event. So yeah, and I will also try to make it memorable with you all. Thank you very much once again. Let's keep learning together and looking forward for attend many more meetups with this group in future. And hope very soon we will meet in person too. So as discussed, we are going to talk some best practices while building flows. So let's set some expectation. As you know, like this is primarily focused for beginners, but this is beauty of our meetups. We join from all levels, like we have all level of our participants here. And thank you once again. Meanwhile, if you have any question, please text in the chat window. And we have various trailblazers around. They will reply you with the answers. And at the end of the session, I will also take some question from there. Well, before we go for more details, we all know, I am sure you all know the terminology. When we say Lightning Flow, now Salesforce Flow, yes, in the current release, I should say now generally available in next few months. So Lightning Flow is now Salesforce Flow. And when we say Salesforce Flow, this is a product which contains Flow Builder as well as Process Builder. So here we are talking about Flow Builder. So Flow Builder is a tools which provides point and clicks options to build flow. And what is flow? So just think, we are going to automate our business process. We are going to take some input from user, and we are going to process the logic without writing any piece of code. So we are going to create a flow. So if we summarize, Lightning Flow, now called Salesforce Flow. So Salesforce Flow is a product which contains Flow Builder, and Flow Builders help us building flow. I have written this here visual workflow because maybe if you are reading any older blogs or any videos, then you might find the word visual workflow. So this was like, I can say this is now retired. This is replaced by Lightning Flow, Salesforce Flow. Well, so a little bit about myself. I am Om Prakash, a Salesforce MVP, Salesforce Platform Champion, and I am currently working as a product head at 360 Degree Cloud. I am primarily from development background. If you are on Twitter, feel free to connect with me. And this is my Trailblazer profile. I will love connecting with you there too. Okay. Now we are going to build flow. So before going to create any flow, or I should say, write any logic, please wait. Please wait and spend your few minutes, spend your sufficient time on understanding the requirement, understanding the business process, like what we are going to create, what we are going to achieve. Before creating flow, write on the paper or draw, or you can use document and whatever. Means collect all the required information. What is the input? What is the output of the flow? If your flow is accepting input, then what is the source of information? What type of logic you are going to use, and which type of actions? Because you have various actions we'll cover in our demo section today as well. So just consider on these things and plan properly. Write on the paper, write the diagram, or create a proper document. And you know the benefit of that, when you spend proper time here, then you can save your time during the building flow. Well, so when we understand the requirement, we plan, okay, this is information, this is output, this is input, this is the business logic. Then our next knowledge, which type of flow we are going to use. Well, you can see in the code elements, we have the screen flow, record triggered flow. So if anyone very new here, whenever you are going to capture input from user, well, let me explain some requirement. I should say use case. We have one requirement, just we want to take input from users, and we have to create 2 or 3 records. So we'll design one input form, means one screen where user will enter the info, and we will process the logic and we'll save the records. Means whenever we are going to take input from users, we are going for screen flow. Similarly, if you are a developer, you know Visualforce page, Lightning component, Lightning web component, like standard page layout. So you are going to use those tools for taking input. Here, same, we are going to take input from user, but we are going to build the flow for customize the requirement. Means I mentioned the requirement was taking input, taking the data from user and creating 3 records. Means you are going to build a custom functionality. So you are going to use the screen flow. Record triggered flow means many of you are already familiar with the process builder. Yes. Similarly, here when record is created, updated, or deleted, you can call the flow and you can automate, you can write your logic, you can use that record triggered flow. So whenever you are thinking like, okay, when the record is deleted and you need to do some automation, please think flow first without thinking about the trigger. You can go like if some complex logic, if you're not going to achieve here, of course, go there, but your first call should be the code triggered flow. If you're going to schedule some actions which should happen in the future, you can use the scheduled triggered flow. We have platform event triggered flow and auto launched flow, like from calling from Apex or REST API. So while you are going to create like flow, good thing is that this screen is there and you can read it carefully when you have to use which one, and you can start building your flow. Well, now we are on in the flow builder. We are going to build the flow, but prior to that, always remember we have to use Sandbox or Developer Edition. You know, it's very basic, but why I am using it here? Sometimes I also found sometimes it happens, okay, this is very minor changes. We can simply go ahead and you can do this minor change in production. That's fine, but no, never go directly on the production. Firstly, please test those changes in Sandbox, or if you're using Developer Edition, there in your test environment, then do any change on production. This is applicable for anything, not only for flow, but for everything. Sometimes we have to use the code IDs. Never hard code those IDs in flow. You know what happened. And one thing we always keep in mind, we need to save our flow on the frequent interval. I should say that, like if you are creating some complex process, you are creating some complex flows, and it will time taking, then keep saving that progress. So maybe some unexpected thing happened, maybe sometimes it happened, like some system issue, maybe network issue, or browser is going to refresh, then of course it will not lose your work that time. We have powerful tool debugging, so always use the debugging. We have debug option, we'll see today. So try to apply the debug more and more so that you have very good clear picture, like what is expected output and what is coming currently. Now we started building the flow, so these points are very important. Why I'm covering here? Because description field are optional and we say okay, let's ignore, but it create issue in the future. So always while setting the flow, give a proper description for that flow, why you are creating that flow. Well, when we are going to save our flow, save as for a new flow version, then generally we ignore that description. But that is very important, because maybe after some times when you have to roll back some changes, or maybe you have to look what was what changes are in the previous version, then you have option. You can read the description and you can easily recall in which version which changes happened. So always not only flow description, but flow description while saving the new version. For each version, give proper description. In flow, always use naming conventions. Of course, no one is going to stop you if you are not using the good naming convention, but it also increase our productivity. It increase the, in future when you are going to maintain, you are going to rework, then of course it is very helpful. We can figure it out easily with the name of variables and name of elements, what is happening, right? Similarly, give the description for flow variables as well as give description for elements. These are optional, but still it's always suggested for you, for your team, and it will keep everyone happy. While creating Apex actions, like, from flow, we can call the Apex methods. So when you are creating invocable methods and of course invocable variables in that Apex class, then give a meaningful label, because if you're writing that label in Apex class, that label is visible in our flow. So if that variable label is meaningful, then end user or should I so your Salesforce admin is going to use that Apex action in flow, then it's very easy for them. Now, our responsibility is, keep everyone happy, our team, developer, admin, even in the user. So always utilize the custom label and subflows. Always means, yeah, if you have that type of requirements, means if you have some text or something you need to display, you can take that from the custom label. If you have some, modular work, I mean, something which is going to repeat in a multiple flow, then use the subflow. We can call one flow from different flow, and we are going to call second flow that is called subflow. So when you are designing, like as I mentioned, you are going to create a document for that, what you are going to do. So that time, think carefully if you have to use subflow or not, if you have to use custom label or not. So also, while working in the flow, we need to keep corner limits in mind. Today we'll see an example as well, like either you are going to do a DML or you are going to use gate records. Yes, it will throw corner limits if you are going to exceed the limit or you are not following the best practice there. This is very important. Again, backward navigation. Let me give you one example. Like we have created one screen flow.
Sorry, sorry. Just to interrupt, you are muted. Someone has muted you. Give me 1 minute. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, thank you very much. I saw someone is unmuted me. Please don't mute me.
Yeah, please don't mute at least the speaker.
Okay, so
Sorry for interruption, you can carry on.
no, thank you for letting me know. Okay, Vishal is telling by mistake. Okay, no
Yeah,
worries.
thank you.
Okay, so I hope okay, that's fine. So let me see if any questions. So Aman, can you please tell corner limits for DML operation? Yeah, sure, I will cover in a demo very soon, Aman. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, please keep me reminding if I will muted by someone again. So let me go back. Yeah, so I was giving one example. That example was okay. I have one screen flow. I am taking input from user. Now click next. We have one create record or create record. Then there is another screen flow, by the way, and on that screen flow, if you have a back button, you will click back. I mean, user will click back. Then you are on the previous screen. Now, of course, user will click next. Then here you are going to, that DML. I mean, that create operation will happen again, and it might be possible you have duplicate records. So when we are building a screen flow, and if we have multiple screen and due to some use cases, if some DML is coming in the middle of two screens, we need to take care for backward navigation. I will show you today. Or simply we have option like we need to control if you want to show back button or not. Error message, again, very interesting point. And Aisha already this question was texted in the LinkedIn event for this meetup. So always use the fault connector if you are performing DML, especially in screen flow. Then we can control the error message. Again, I will cover this today. Testing, of course, you are building flow. No matter your flow is working very well, but still think all the use cases, all expectations, so that you all know the power of testing. Similarly, what any functionality you are building, we need to take care for testing. Here, this is also applicable. So firstly, use the debug log or test your all use cases, or then try to run the flow and before going live, test properly. So it will help you. So let's go with some of the demo, and this demo, like very basic demo, but still I will try to reproduce some issue there, and then I will fix that one by one. And meanwhile, in any question, please feel free to text. No worry, if you're a beginner, I will try to cover from very basic while building this use case. Okay, so I am going on in my Salesforce org. So I'm going to cover one very basic use case. The requirement is like, let me go on the account. You can see I have one account, Salesforce Developer Group Bhubaneswar, and let me open. We have 3 contacts. Okay, all group leaders are here. Now, my requirement is when the account type will be technology partner, then we need to check all the contacts if phone number is blank. If phone number is blank, then for simplification of this demo, simply update the description of contact. Like, okay, phone number required. You know, in real time, you can create a task for this contact, but here I'm going to simply update the description. Means when account will be updated and type equal to technology partner, then we need to check all the contacts. If contact phone is blank, then update those contacts. Well, so let's think. Our requirement is whenever account will be updated, one automation required. Okay, and we need to, if you think functionally, what do we need? When account is updated, then we need to check all the contacts where phone number equal to blank. Fine. I'm going to create flow, and I will explain step by step, keeping beginners in mind. You know, setup, then flow, close, new flow. As mentioned earlier, we have option like, yeah, it's loading, screen flow, and auto launch flow. No worry, it seems I have some network issue, but that's fine. So record triggered flow. Here we don't need to choose screen flow. We have to choose record triggered flow, because when a record is created, updated, or deleted, or our requirement is when account is updated. Fine, I have clicked on this. Next, choose this freeform as of now. Well, so when we have a record triggered flow, then you have option. See, trigger or record is created. So click on this edit. But no, my requirement is when record is updated. You can see we very simply all options are here. When you have your requirement is like only when record is created, then choose this one, or sometimes when you need or created as well as updated, then this one. But here I am going on a specific one when record is updated. Now, run the flow before record or after record. You can read it here in some right way. Here in our requirement, when account will updated, then what we need to do? We need to update the contacts, right? Means simply we need to do it in after record save, because when account updated, it's saved successfully, then we need to go to update the child records. So we will choose after record is saved. When we will choose this one, when we have to update something on account itself. Means when account is updated, then update other fields on account, then we'll go for the before record. But here I need to update the contacts, so I am going on the after record is saved. Done. If you are from development background, you know it's trigger logic similar to before trigger, after trigger. Done. Now record is updated. Which record? Simply click choose object, and our requirement is account is updated. Don't confuse with contact. Sometimes very beginner confused we need to choose contacts. No, account is updated, then we need to update the contacts. So I'm going to choose account. Now, you need condition or not? Yes, we need condition. Which condition? Remember, account type equal to technology partner. That's fine. Type means on the account object type fields equal what? We have one picklist value we call technology partner. Means find out all the accounts which type equal to technology partner. Sorry, not find out all the accounts, but yes, run this trigger, run this flow when account type equal to technology partner. Cool. Now, only when record is updated or every time. So here we need to take a call. If I'm going to update the account, maybe suppose now I'm going to save technology partner. It's saved. Later I'm going to save change the employee value. Again criteria match. Do you want to do this action? If yes, then choose this one. Like every time your criteria is going to match. And only when the record is updated to meet the condition. Means no, my requirement is only when this type is something else and it is going to change with technology partner, then only update, then only perform this action. So I am going to choose only when record is updated to meet the condition. Okay, done. Now entry point is ready. When account will be created and account will be updated and this criteria will match, then this flow will triggered. Well, what we need to do here? We need to find out all the contacts. So for finding something, you can simply see in the data under the elements, here is the get records. Data get records means we are going to find some records. Give a label, find contacts. Okay. Which object we are going to find out? Object is contact. Now, which contacts? So, contacts. What is your primary requirement? Phone number is blank. Means phone number is null, true. Because remember our requirement was if contact phone is blank, then we need to update description. So I have given the criteria, find the record, which one? Contact, phone is null, true, all conditions are made. So one more condition here, not mentioned in requirement, but it's silent. We need to find out the contacts only related to this particular account. Means here we need to add more condition and account ID equals which account ID? The account which started this process. So this process builder, this flow builder, this flow, the entry point of this flow is account. Means we can access that account ID with this global variable record. Anything, maybe account, maybe contact, maybe lead, whatever the entry point of this flow, that object, that record can be accessed by record. So record.id, account ID. Means find out all the contacts where account ID equal to the current account ID, means current record ID, phone is true, null true, keep all the default. Yeah, we are going to take all records, by the way. So we need to choose all records. We need all contacts, and yeah, that is the like option automatically stored. We have also option you can assign you can assign the fields in different variables, and you can also assign your our result in one collection variable. But that's fine. As of now, let's keep automatically store all fields. Done. As of now, we have all the contacts in by this get records. What we need to do here, the collection variable collection, like because we are getting more than one contacts, and our requirement is we need to update description of each contacts. You know, we need assignment, we need to assign the description, but this is collection, so we also need a loop. Loop, you can see in the logic section we have loop, means when we have more than one records in a variable, that is collection variable, then we need to iterate that collection using the loop elements, and we are going to take one by one from the collection, and then we're going to assign. So give a label for each contact. And while creating a loop, you need to define the collection variable. So our collection variable is contacts from find contacts. What is this? This is name of this one, find contacts, the get records. So the get records is fetching all the contacts, and that is going to store by default in the variable name, the same find contacts. You can access here. You can see the find contacts collection variable. First item to last item and last item to first item. Here, during iteration, you need to keep first element first or last element first. So we have no matter in this requirement. So let's go with first direction. Now, we need to assign description to the contacts. So we need to drag one assignment. Give a name, assign the description. Variable. Here is single variable, record single variable that is coming from your loop elements. That is called current item from for each contact. What is for each contact? The element name of my loop. So it's simple. For each contacts dot description means the current contact dot description equals, give some hard coding here. It should be avoided, but for example, phone number needed. Let's send email to this contact, just for one example here. Done. So let me explain again. Here are the loop elements. In the loop, I have mentioned the collection variable, find contacts. This loop elements will take one elements, one contacts, and assign in the variable called for each contact. So you can say for each contact is our contact, one contact. As I am assigning the description equal to this description. Now, one by one, how I will link very soon. So let's go with linking. Firstly, a start. A start will go to get records. We need to link this. This is called connector. First we'll go to get records. Get records will go to loop. Loop will go to assignment. Okay. For each, this assignment will come here. Like as of now, just understand what happened. Get records, loop, first elements, then assignment. Then it will come here, second element, then assignment, third element, assignment. If I will link here, right? But no worry, I'm not going to link here. Our requirement is update the contact. So here I'm going to drag one update records and I'm going to write update contact. Okay. And I need to update the single variable current item from loop. The same, you can see the same which was here. I have assigned the for each contact description equal to this one, and I'm going to update this same record, the same elements. So let me try again. Update contact. Sorry, I have not saved that, but done. Now this assignment goes to update record come to loop. Okay, means we are from loop, assignment, update, then come back to loop, next element, assignment, update. Okay, let's save this flow. Our flow name should be update contacts description. Activate this flow. Now let's go for testing. I'm going to update the type of account to technology partner. Save this. And when I am going to check the contact, you can see the description phone number needed, please send email to this contact. Well, it's working fine here. You can see. Now it's working. We have deployed everything. Now I'm going back on the accounts. I'm coming on the different accounts. I'm going to update this type to technology partner, save. Error happened. What happened? You will receive one error email, by the way. On this account, we have more than 151 contacts. Means this time, quarter limits up. We never do this. That's why I covered this. Remove this one. Remove this one. Now loop back. Okay, means loop assignment, come back. If you are from Apex development, you know we have a list of record, list of contacts. We are using one for each loop. We are going to assign one element in the any field in the loop, and after end of that loop, you can simply write update and the list variable. Means prior to for loop, you have one list variable. That list contains the collection of records. You are going to iterate the for loop. After the for loop, you are going to update that same list. Similarly, developer mindset, what we do? We think like, okay, assignment happened, then loop, when loop will final, like go here, then come here, and when the loop will over, then after last element, we link the update records, and here that time we have collection single variable. Now we use record collection variable. Okay, find contacts. Done. Means the same collection variable. You can see the same collection variable on which loop was running. We have assigned one by one, and we are going to update the same collection variable. Done. Save as a new version, give description, save it, activate it, and let's go for testing. I am on the account. I'm going to choose technology partner, save it. Yeah, there is no error, of course, but when I am going to check one contact, you can see description was not updated. You might thinking why I have covered here. I have covered here for developers mindset. If you are a developer, then sometimes in the beginning we spend some time on this. So always remember here this will not work. We know this is not Apex. So what we need to do here, if you're Apex developer, you can understand why I covered this example. Remove this again. We need to add one more collection variable here, and after assigning the description, we need to add these elements. Which elements? Individual contacts in that collection, and we need to update that collection. Let's see how. Simply drag one more assignment. Okay. Give a name. Put all contacts in list. Now variable new resources. By the way, you can create new resource from manager here, but that's fine. Here variable new resource. I'm going to create one new collection variable to hold the all the contacts which description is updated. I mean changed. The resource type equal to variable. Give API name list of contact. Okay, to update just data type equal record, because we are going to create the record type variable. Which type of record? Of course, contact. We are in the context of contact here. Allow multiple, because we need to add multiple records of contacts in this variable. So allow multiple values. We don't need input output here because this is internal. This scope of this variable will be limited to only this flow. So I have created one flow, type is record, object will be contact, this will be collection. Done. Means this list of contact dot, what happened? One second, let me come back. Sorry. Assignment. List of contact. Why not? We should have add here because it's collection. What's wrong? Okay, my mistake. One second, guys. I think list of contact to update. Okay, sorry. What happened? While I double click on this allow collection. No worry. So let me create new variable again. You can create new resources from here. What happened? Maybe during showing the demo, I click 2 times on the checkbox. New resource variable, API name equal to list of contacts. Okay, data type equal to record, object equal to contact, and allow multiple. Okay, so I clicked twice. Sorry. List of contacts done. So I'm going back again for the assignment. Variable list of contacts. This collection variable list of contacts dots add. You can see now earlier that was single variable. So the option was not available. Now this is list of variable. So you can see list dot add. Which one? The single variable. This one. You can see the same variable which assigned here, right? Means we have assigned description to this variable. Give a name. Put contacts in list. Now loop will go to the single assignment. This assignment will go to the list assignment, means we are preparing the list. This will go back to the loop. You can easily understand loop, first element, then assignment, then put in the list, come back, again repeat the process. And when all assignment done, then link this loop to the update record. And now we need to update the record, not this, but list of contacts, this collection variable. Now, yeah, that is suggested. So remove the name here. Done, save as. Activate this. Now go back on the same account. You know, prior to testing, we need to change this type with something else first, because in our flow, we have defined the criteria only work when this type will change to technology partner from some other value. So I'm going to choose technology partner, save this. Now refresh this contact. And you can see all the contacts of this record, more than 150 of course, where phone equal to blank, description was updated. I've taken more time for this basic demo, keeping in mind if you are beginner, then it will be helpful for them. Very quickly, I won't take much time, in 5 minutes, I'm going to cover one more demo for you. Simply, my requirement is taking input from user. So I'm going to create new flow. Screen flow, because I'm going to take input from user. Okay, so you can see now we have a screen here. So drag one screen, give a label, welcome screen. Welcome screen. On this welcome screen, I want two fields. One will be last name. So we have name, by the way, input type name for taking last name, first name, but here I'm going with plain text. Okay, and one more text. To text, I'm going to create one form, take input from user, one is for last name, one is company, and I'm going to create a lead, very basic. So give a name, label, last name, and you can see API name created. You can mark the required form here, very basic, like drag the elements. Firstly, I drag the screen, then go on the input section, drag one text. On the text, give a label. API name is automatically here. Second one, again, give a company. API name is here, mark is required. Done. Now, when I will link this and if I will run this, then I will have one screen where I have two input. Now, I am going to create a record. So I'm going to draw a create record, create lead. I have one record, that's fine. And use all value from record. So if you have record variable, then you can choose this one, but I don't have any record variable. So I'm going to choose second option. And which one? So I'm going to create lead. Which object? Lead object. Which field? So I'm going to assign company, and company equal to, you can see screen components are available, company. Well, done. Then I'm not going to assign last name here. Simply screen goes to create records, and I want one more screen just for showing something output. So I'm going to drag one more output here and just display text. Okay, click on this, give a name, API name, display message. Display message, and here something to do. Okay, cool. Means screen flow, screen, then create the lead, then link this with success message. Save this. Okay, I mentioned we can use the debug log. Click on debug. Okay, run. I'm entering last name, Prakash. Company, next. Okay, something wrong. That's fine. This is what debug. You can easily track from the debug log. Okay, required field are missing. This is the advantage of our debug log. You can track from here. Okay, I did some mistake. Last name was not assigned. Now I'm going to run this. Okay, assume user is using this. Okay, means we have saved this flow, we have activated this flow, we have distributed this flow, and now user is going to use this. So user will see this screen. Prakash, company, next, and user will receive this error. You can assume like how, this is something, if user is non-technical or even technical, you can't understand what is happening wrong, right? On handle fault has been occurred. So here we have very good tools. Simply drag one more screen, given label, error, anything you can give, by the way, screen, I have given the label. Now drag one display message, display text on this, give API name, message or anything. And here, insert resources, we have global variables flow dot. If you check this, you will see fault message. Okay, so in this display text, I'm going to print the fault message. Done. And now, when we see on this create record, this will link to a screen, but still there is one connector. And this connector link this with error, and this is fault. When something happened wrong here, go on the screen. You can think I have taken very, basic example, required field missing. It can easily track here, but assume in the real time it might be possible some other validation error or something else happening in your any other process, then it will be very helpful, by the way. So I have linked this fault to this screen. Simply drag this, and that's what I did. This one to screen, fault will go to screen, save it. Now run this. I'm going to do the same mistake again. Means, by the way, usually not doing mistake. Mistake is here, right? Next, but this time you can see your user can, oh, required field are missing. So very much better than earlier error message. So yes, we can use this screen printer, and we need to fix this error. Why it was happening? Because last name was required on our lead. So last name equal to screen component last name. Done. Save. And when you will test, the record will be created in your org. And one more thing I want to cover here. Remember, suppose, yeah, let me test again. Okay, save this, run. Last name equal to Prakash, company equal to company name. Now you can see to do means record is created successfully. I should print the ID, but nobody. You can test record is created. Now I'm going to click previous. Now click next. And if I go to check lead in my org, you can see two Prakash was created. I was talking during the slide presentation. So what happened? We need to control the navigation. Click on like here screen, then create record, another screen, click on this, and you can see control navigation. Okay, when I click here, and when we click on this navigation, you can see control navigation. I don't need previous here. Okay, I'm not allowing user to go previous because you saw the accident happened. Record by created twice. Run. And now when I create this, there is no previous button here. So yes, this was like some basic use cases, keeping beginners in mind. It was in our demo today. So I hope it makes sense, and you can learn more on this about the flow builders, and lots of use cases with this trail flow, build flows with flow builder. And we have very good trail mixage from the Dream TX, where we have lots of advanced things how you can automate and integrate with flow. So I strongly recommend take these screenshots and keep learning on the Trailhead. More you always learning, keep learning on trailhead.salesforce.com. We have awesome quests always. Please explore those quests. And if you have any questions during learning, during implementation, you are always go ahead, ask a question on the trailblazers.salesforce.com. Thank you very much. But yes, if any question, let's discuss. And that's all from my side today. Thank you very much. I hope it was helpful, especially for our beginners today. So if any question, I will happy heard and I will try to answer. So if anything, let me check. Thank you very much, Rahul. So if any question, I suggest please unmute yourself and let's discuss.
Yeah,
Hello.
hi, Aman.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, hi, Aman.
yeah. Actually, I and 2-3 people have same doubt. Like, can you suggest which will be the best and when to use what? Like, we have workflow, process builder, and flow. So, what
Okay.
to use when I always get confused when I see these questions. Like, when to use process builder and when to use flow.
Makes sense. Well, so as of now, just think like as Salesforce suggests, like if you are going to use the before update, I mean before event inflow, it is 10x faster. So whenever you need to update something, I mean you need to do something in before on the same record, go with the flow builder. But very good question, process builder and flow builder. And as you know, we already have a process builder for do lots of automation. So the best suggestion will be like, see, if the thing is going to happen with process builder, then the first priority will be, of course, process builder. Like, if you have to use some SOQL query, like you need to find some records and you need to use some logic based on that, then you need to perform some DML, then we have limited SOQL query functionality available in process builder. SOQL means here I'm going to find the record with some specific criteria, then I'm going to perform some action on that output. So that is one of the use case where you need to go for the flow builder. But as described in all the official documents, when you think this act will be not possible in process builder, for example, delete. If you need to do something on delete operations, like after delete, we need to go for the flow builder. Similarly, let me give you one use case. We need to suppose we have parent and child records, and that child record is also linked with some other object. And requirement is when something happened on the parent record, then we need to update the child record. But before updating the child record, we need to check some specific criteria on the related record of that child. Means we need to go on the third object here. Well, so here go on the flow. Previously, in many cases, you all are familiar, like we are going to create one process builder. In the process builder, we are going to call the auto launch flow, right? So now, if that type of situation happen, then leave the process builder. I will just go on the flow builder. Okay, now, just think different use case. If we have already running process builder from past, we're not going to migrate everything from flow, and now we have some requirement. You need to add some action in that flow process builder, and you need to automate some process which is not possible in process builder. Then again, you are going to call flow from your process builder. Means both are in use. Just we need to figure it out. Our requirement in simple word. If the requirement is not possible from process builder, directly jump to the flow builder. I hope, Aman, it makes sense, like on the basic level.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. If any questions, let's discuss. Yeah, I can see one more question, but
Hi. Actually, I have a query. Like in the case of time trigger workflow, if we need to change the the date or the time that I want to, I was doing the triggering earlier. So in such case, earlier I was removing by going to a time-based workflow action. Okay, from the monitor. So do I need to do something here also?
as I understand, sorry, like you need to schedule some action in future.
Yes, yes. If it is a time trigger kind of action, if I am throwing an email or kind of things, earlier I was doing through workflow, okay. And when I'm changing the date or the time, so in such scenario, I have to go to the monitor, and from there I have to delete the time-based future workflow action.
Okay, well, makes sense. So,
So
got it.
here do I have to do something like that?
Yes. So if you like you are creating a scheduled triggered flow from here, and let me go to the process. Sorry, not process. One second. Flow. And you can monitor your scheduled flow from here, and you can manage from here. Like suppose you need to delete previous one, then you can delete your scheduled flow from here under the paused flow interviews. Make sense?
Yes, yes, it makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, here it's paused flow. Okay. So thank you, Rahul and Devasish, for having me. And let me check more question. If you have it, we'll love discussing. So Shivangi is asking, how can we update field of a child record if parent recording updated? Awesome. So if I come to our requirement, not requirement, I should say on the flow which we built. Let me go back. If I come back on the flow, what was the update contact description? So see, when account was updated, so here again we can see account is parent of contact because contact and account is related. So when account was updated, then we have defined this criteria. We have given the object account here. In the get records, we have find all the child, means all the contacts with the given criteria, the requirement criteria, and using the loop, we have assigned the required field on the child, and we have updated. So in this demo, we have covered the same use case, like when the parent will be updated, then update the child record. So I hope you missed this demo, but no worry, I'm going to explain very quickly. Just we have account, and I have chosen account is updated. Then after record saved, trigger this flow, and then there is a get records. I am using SOQL query, you can say, if you are familiar with SOQL query, else you are going to find out all the contacts with this given criteria, and with help of loop, we are taking one element one by one, we are doing the assignment, we are putting that assigned value variable in a collection, and at the end of the loop, at the end of the loop, we are updating the child. So in the demo, we have covered the same thing. I hope it makes a little bit to you. Shivangi, sorry if I am not able to explain, because I think I've covered in demo, so I am just giving a very quick info for this question. Okay, so I can see, yeah, Aman, I'm going to share the link here as well. So thank you very much once again for everyone.
Hello.
Listening me. Yeah, hi, Les.
Hi, I have one question. Like, so as you showed in the demo that on the basis of record triggered flow, you were able to query the related account contacts, right?
Okay.
But but this is recently introduced, and before that we were able to achieve this requirement by using process builder and then calling a auto launch flow, which
Yeah,
is
right.
also which is also which we can also do by using Rig. So by this record triggered flow, meaning that we now don't need the help of process builder to identify which account record was manipulated, right?
Yes, so you have covered very well. Like earlier, if we need to achieve this requirement, so you can think only I need to remove this. Means in previous version, this part was not available, this was available, and this module was getting called from the process builder. But here, in this requirement, we don't need a process builder. It can directly trigger from flow. So session will be, if you're going for work on the fresh requirement, in this situation, go with the flow builder. We don't need to create process builder, then call the flow builder. But suppose if you have a large functionality or already existing functionality in process builder, and just you need to add one action, then still we have that ability. So utilize that one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So guys, keeping the time constraint in mind, we have already lot of questions. So we can directly reach out to Om on Twitter as well. So Om is always
Of course, I will love it.
available for like these kind of questions. So yeah, keeping the time constraint in mind, we'll not be able to further take any more questions. Hope everyone understands.
Okay, sure. I will love answering. If you can DM me on the Twitter as well. I have also shared, our Trailblazer community link here. Various Trailblazers are active there, and they are going to reply very quickly. So feel free to ask the question here. And sorry, Rahul, I think I also taken 10 or 15 minutes more, keeping beginner in focus. So yeah, thank you very much. Please keep it forward for quiz. Thanks.
No worries, Om. No worries. We understand. Yeah.
So thanks, Om, and we will begin with our quiz session. So all of you just open Kahoot.it in your web browser, or just download the Kahoot app in your mobile. So we will take 1 or 2 minutes for the just download the app, or just open the URL in your browser. So we'll be giving you the pin, and just try to join the quiz as soon as possible so that we can begin. So this is the game pin. Just open the URL and just input this pin. And once done, we will be begin in 1-2 minutes.
Abhishek, just you need to wait. If you have joined, please wait. Then once quiz will started, then you can play.
And guys, just make sure you are using some correct name so that we can identify you. Don't use shining or some. I see a name as Shining Bobcat 55. So guys, please use some good name. SN22. Can you please check your name? Sorry for highlighting this, but yeah, can you please use your correct name so that we can? Yeah, I can see some golden bat as well. So kind of. Sorry for highlighting, but yeah, can you please join with some correct name?
Just join with your name, whichever you have used for the sign up or login purpose. That will be helping us for finding out the winner.
Yes.
So the number is increasing. Let's
So I
wait.
see lots of, I see we have lots of new players. So I suggest please give some little overview before starting how they will play. Like,
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah, fine.
please. Thank you.
Yeah, Om, you can explain the process how to play this quiz also. So who first time playing the Kahoot, it will be helpful for them.
Sure. One second. Let me open one screen. I have one screen starts. 1 minute, please.
and guys, we'll be starting in some 30 seconds
Chinmay, we can
because
we
we have
can
already
wait.
achieved
We can
around
wait.
85 people on the
Chin, Chin,
on the quiz.
yeah, Chinmay, we can wait little
Right.
bit time. Let Om just
Yeah.
explain the process how to play this
Yes.
game because some guys are new to this. That will be helpful for them. Om, do you want to share the process of how to play this game?
Yes, please. Let me share one screen
Yes.
very quickly. 1 minute, please. I'm just opening. And sure. So it will help someone who is going to play first time.
Yeah,
Okay, so
Chinmay,
I'm
you
sharing
can
my
stop.
screen and very quickly then Chinmay. Sure. Thank you, Chinmay. You can resume quickly in 30 seconds. Let me share my screen. And I hope my screen is visible, right? Okay. So now, you all have, I hope, yeah, sorry, I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah,
Once
fine.
again. Okay. So let me enter game pin. So basically what happened, you have already entered in the mobile. Now, this is a screen where, the Chinmay will share. Question will come and here is the question, like this is question. Then there will be 4 options or answers. And on your mobile phone, there will be 4 options. And you need to click the option on mobile phone. Sorry, it's taking time. So nobody, just here on the screen, we have question and answer. And on your phone, you will have 4 options. And maybe here is red symbol, maybe red circle had the correct answer. Then on your phone, there is red circle. You need to click on that red circle symbol. So yeah, it's keeping time. So nobody, let me stop my screen. Simply on your mobile phone, option will be available, question will be available on the screen. So you need to look on the screen of Chinmay, and when Chinmay will share the question, then you can read the question, you can look on the answers, and you need to press the correct option from your mobile phone. So yes, Abhishek, if you are doing from laptop, then you have one issue. Maybe you are also going to look the screen from the laptop, then you will face the issue. So you need to play from mobile phone or on the laptop. Try to use 2 different view. Then you can play. I think we can start.
Yeah, thanks. Om. So we are already
Thank
having
you.
88 count. So we can start now. Let's begin.
Yes, Abhishek, you can do it, but you need to manage your browser in 2 view. You need to see the screen of Chinmay and you also need to see your screen. Then you can play. Chinmay, you are sharing a screen? I can't see. Sorry.
Om, can you just pin it? Can you just pin it? It will be helpful for
Okay,
you.
let me try.
Anyone who's not
Sure.
able to see the screen, please pin Chinmay's screen to your desktop. It will be helpful.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So let's move to next question.
Chinmay, Soumya this side. We are not able to see the question.
Yeah, we cannot see your question, man.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. Wait, Chinmay, wait. Can you please try pinning Chinmay Rath presentation? Just it is showing Chinmay Rath presentation, that particular user to the screen.
We did
Can
that,
you
but
try
we are not.
Okay. So
Can you please restart the quiz as well, because I guess no one will be able to see the question. No one was
I
able to see the
couldn't
question.
answer the question. The question was not visible for me on the screen. Can you restart the quiz if it's possible? Because it's
Yeah.
showing
Now we can
times
see
up
the
for me.
screen.
Okay.
It's showing times up.
okay, restarting means everyone has to join again. So yeah,
It's visible for me.
yeah, it's visible for
It's
some.
visible for me as well.
I couldn't see the questions.
So guys, we can take it from here now because restarting will be an entire end-to-end process. Everyone joining, and we are already running out.
In that case, we'll be running behind because we have already lost 2 questions.
No, it's just one question, guys. Just try to understand.
It will take a lot of time again after joining 100 of people in the quiz.
Yes, just try to understand.
Can anyone tell me the code,
3
please?
minutes. 4022
We can start from here only.
Yeah. So
4022.
70.
Can anyone please tell the code? 708.
4022
Oh, thank you.
So let's move to the second question.
yes.
So for the first question, Avin is the highest score. He secured the highest score. Let's move to the second question.
The product that encompasses building and managing running flow.
So for the second question, Sajal is the winner. Let's go to the third question.
To users or build a form to collect information from them, the screen elements.
So guys, who's ever not talking, can you please mute yourself? It will be helpful for everyone else.
So again, Sajal is the highest scorer.
If you give answer quickly, then you will get more points.
So now also Sajal scored the more points. Let's move to the next question. Yeah. So for this, Mega scored the most, height score. Yeah. For this question again, Mega got the height score. So for this, so Mega scored the top score. So for this question, Abhishek Saha is the winner. So again, Abhishek is the winner for this. So this is the last question.
So we have third Vineet Sharma, Ishan Kulkarni, and first is Abhishek Shah. Congratulations, Abhishek, Ishan, Vineet. Can you just ping your email IDs to us on chat window? And we have certification vouchers for all the 3 persons. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations and thank you everyone for joining. I was reading the comments. Thank you very much. I saw lots of beautiful comments from you guys. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you all 3 group leaders for having me today with you all in first meetup.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining, and especially thank you Om for accepting our invite at such a short notice and jumping on with the whole event process and all. And thank you to all the 2 other group leaders, Chinmay Bhai and Devashish Bhai, for all the hard work that we did pulling up this event. And at last, thank you for everyone joining, because yeah, you people were the soul and we could make our event successful.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, Rahul, Ishan has texted you email ID. You can call.
Yeah, Ishan, I got Ishan. I got Abhishek. and I'm just searching. I guess Vineet was for the Vineet.
Rahul, somebody just texted me on that DM. We have recorded this session or not?
Yes,
guess
we tried recording. We'll have to check how that recording went through and all, and then only we'll be able to tell you. Okay, so we'll let you know that.
Makes sense. I will reply them accordingly.
Actually, Google is kind of not allowing recording, so we to use some other tools. We'll have to check the recording.
Awesome. Yeah. So we need to check if it will be helpful for us. Then we'll. That's fine.
we'll do
I'll
that.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. So is Dushyant Sharma is the Vineet Sharma who kind of
No, Rahul, my mail ID is sharma.vineet1234@gmail.com.
yeah, so that sharma.vineet1234@gmail.com, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have copied that only. Yeah, because I found two Vineet Sharma's email ID coming up.
I have shared only one.
Yeah. No, some other had shared Vineet.Sharma. So yeah, just checking that. Yeah.
Actually, it's spamming.
Yeah. I understood. That's why I asked. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Om sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Congratulations, Rahul and Devashish. So I can see like you are a very good response from the participants. And yeah, thank you very much. Bye bye. Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you, Om. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
राहुल भाई
हाँ देवाशीष भाई
हाँ भाई
मोर फटी वाला
टिके रुआ मुड़ के ये कर दिए
ମୁଁ ନେଇ ନେଇଛି ସବୁ email ID